Attention, 5-9 gamers, we are back with another installment of your favorite Dokkan Battle podcast called the Dokkan Battle Podcast. I am your host, Toon Rami, and joining me this week, the international family guy himself, Talon.
Ohayou gozaimasu, minasan.
Part-time stand user and full-time Super Battle Road King, the Masked Ningen.
Yo, how's it going, everybody?
The Hunter of Alex, Alec Hunter.
What's going on, everybody?
The baby face of 5-9 with a fresh 5 o'clock shadow, Nolar.
What's going on, everyone?
And Sunblade.
Oh, come on. What was that?
What was that?
Their revenge.
You get paid better than that.
Yeah, sure. Make sure to follow us across all of our social media. All right, no, hang on. I'll do it. Stellt euch den mächtigen und schnellsten Speedrunner Sunblade.
Hello, guys. Hi.
Don't mess with me. Make sure you guys are locked in across all of our social media platforms and connect with the 59G network. Follow us on Twitter, Twitch, subscribe to our YouTube, join the Discord, our new Facebook fan page, the subreddit, a website, everything. Make sure you guys are fully locked in today. And also, we have a very special stream coming up later tonight, a charitable stream, if you will, for one of our very own. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that as well. We're going to be playing some Mario Party. So we're getting the cast and crew back together for one epic Mario Party stream. So make sure you guys are following us on Twitch so that you guys don't miss that later tonight. With all things said, let's jump into episode 20. JP Accepts Godhood. Global returns to Monke! All right, so we'll start with the 6th anniversary, obviously, because JP is still in the honeymoon phase of the 6th anniversary. And we've now had a full week to digest and take in the beautiful new LRs, UI and Royal Blue. So, guys, I'll just open it up to the floor. Who is the better unit after a week's worth of gameplay and testing and races and summons? Which one's better?
Okay, so I will... Okay, Nola, do you want to jump in? Or?
No, go for it.
Okay, so I have to say that AGL UI Goku is far better. I think the key mechanic works out better for him. He has a 70% chance to dodge. Whenever he dodges, he gets one key. He gets an additional 30% defense. I think that makes him the better unit overall because I have a harder time to get off the 18 key super with Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, I would say. Yeah, in the end, I would say it's not even close. UI Goku is better.
No, go ahead. I know you were itching to go there.
Yeah, I kind of agree. The only downside of UI Goku, at least to me, is if you're trying to get that revival mechanic off, it's kind of hard.
It's near impossible.
You've got to get hit.
Near impossible.
And with 70% chance to dodge, like, yeah, okay, he'll dodge most of the time, and then he'll get hit. And then when you want that mechanic to go off, he didn't get hit enough. So that's kind of the only downside to him. But in terms of like using him strictly as a card, I think he's better. Now, I kind of like Evolution Blue Vegeta's like animations more, but that's just me. And yeah, overall, I just besides the key, revival mechanic, yeah, I would say UI Goku's better overall.
Okay. So for me personally, yeah, I think just based on the kit and everything, the fact that Goku gets extra keys just simply by dodging, he has dodge built into his passive, then he gets the extra defense, which is really nice if he gets that first dodge off. It is pretty clear that Goku is better. That being said, however, I think I like Vegeta more, and the only reason I say that is because of one little thing called RNG with that Goku dodge.
Yeah.
I went into the God of Destruction event, and I put Goku in a slot where he wasn't hit all the time. He's just, I think it's like 4 attacks. I was like, okay, you know what, Goku used to have a good chance to dodge in all these. Got hit for every single one. Yeah, 70% my ass. So yeah, no. I know he's clearly the better unit and everything, but Vegeta's he's more consistent for me. That being said, though, I wish Vegeta had his given additional, not the additional super, but the additional attacks that he has for Super Saiyan Blue. Even his LR Super Saiyan 1 has it. He just gets the additional attack, because if they're gonna give him the thing of you need more ki to by getting more attacks and everything, why does he not have that? Like, I don't see a reason why he doesn't. So yeah. And everyone in the chat, no, it's not get good. Come on.
Yeah, about RNG and stuff, I had a weird situation yesterday, I believe, when I recorded Showcase. So Vegeta has to get hit 7 times, and you have to be below 50% HP for the
50%.
revival mechanic to be activated, I think. And I have to say that I hate that he is int, because like there were 7 attacks and he dodged one of them because of the 5 dodge, and I wasn't able to get the revival mechanic activated. Just want to throw that out there, ramble a little bit about that. So yeah.
At the very least, he gets a build up of damage reduction, right? So like, yeah, he gets hit, but at the very least, he can take a hit, or
You can take a hit. Oh, you can easily take a hit, no problem.
yeah. Compared to UI Goku, he's like, all right, dodge, no dodge, no dodge, and then dead.
Yep.
So you're like, okay, come on, game. But yeah, no, I mean, in terms of like what feels better to use, like Sunblade said, it's getting that extra key with UI Goku. It just makes him much easier to get the 18 key off, you know? So
Is it safe to say, in the long run, if it's a battle of attrition, Vegeta is the safer bet? Because of the whole, reliability and the damage reduction factor?
I personally want to say yes to that one, in my personal opinion. I don't know about Nolar and Sunblade, so.
yeah, it's kind of like UI Goku sign, the strength LR. He's really good.
You're opening up old wounds right there.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, these guys with 70% chance of dodge is great for Super Battle Road, right? But if you're talking like a long-term event, yeah, UI sign, once you build him up, he's fine. But again, you're just really relying on that RNG, while you can rely, great on Vegeta to take a hit. Once you get those 7 hits, if you fall below 50%, you're gonna get that revival mechanic. While with Goku, it's kind of like, okay, sure, maybe he'll dodge the entire time. Like out of like 20 turns, he'll dodge every single attack, which is great. But then, what if you need the revival mechanic? It's a little more RNG, which, again, gotcha game RNG. The way this game works out, it's fine, but. If you were trying to make sure you finish an event and reliably, I would say Vegeta is the better card.
So one thing that makes him like way better than STR UI Goku is that whenever he dodges, he gets that 30% defense. He has a 70% chance to dodge, and I think that additional 30% defense buff results in a over 200% defense buff for the entire turn. So let's say he dodges the first attack and then he gets hit. It's fine. Like on Extreme Super Battle Roll at 69%, he takes like 40k damage from a normal attack, and that's completely good to me. So yeah.
Did you guys feel like this 6-year anniversary units were exactly what you signed up for? Did you get what you bought? Did you get your money's worth? Are these units worth the 6-year anniversary?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, I would just say
I'd
yes.
for the most part.
Yeah.
They are the best
I'd say
units
for the
in the
most part.
game, definitely. Goku is number 1, Vegeta's number 2 for me, and that's pretty clear, I would say.
Yeah. Again, my little thing with the extra attack with Vegeta, that's about the only thing I would change. But overall, yeah, they're very good units. I have both at 55%, and yeah, they're clearly amazing. So
And Talon,
a
as you
rainbow,
touched-
really good.
And Talon, as you touched on earlier, mentioning the Gathering of the Gods event, let's talk about that as well.
Okay.
The Gathering of the Gods event is widely considered the new most difficult event. I'm not going to personally say it is or not because I haven't played it, but a lot of people have been saying that it's pretty tough. So what are your guys' thoughts on the event now after a full week? Are you looking forward to any additional god gimmicks in the future with additional gods showing up? What are your guys' feels on that so far?
Okay, so let me go off the top. So I've only done one video, and that's the only time I've ever played it, honestly, because I've just been too busy. And the downside is the 3 attempts a day, it really sucks. The reason why, on that video I did, so on the first attempt was the first one, the first stage with the Strength God. Okay, barely got through, but I got through. But on the second one, it's like, okay, she starts off AGL. I'm gonna take Battle of Wits. I'm hoping I don't get a Vegito on the first rotation. The next 2 tries, double Vegito, and I just get blown to bits. So, it's just like, okay, well, a rotation means I can't do anything. Like, it's just, that's a dead attempt. And then from then on, it was just double terrible rotations from there. But it should have been just opened on the weekends or just the entire time, just so people could play with it and whatnot. And then down the line, make it like Super Battle Road or the inverse of it, where it's only available during the weekdays or something like that. If they want to time gate you that way, fine. But just limited attempts really sucks.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think honestly, that's the reason it's considered the hardest event, is because you only get the 3 chances
Yeah.
to do it. In reality, at least in the first 4 stages, because it's just a single typing, it actually really isn't that hard. I went in with just simply a Majin Buu Saga team, or I went in with like an all STR or all AGL, and for the most part, it's really not that bad. It's just that RNG and the 3 times a day is what can mess you up, because if you get bad RNG on the first one, then that's one turn gone already. Like your first try's done. And then you only have 2 left. So you're very like cautious and feel like, oh my gosh, if I mess this up, then I only get 1 more shot at it. And then the moment you're done, you're like, oh, well, I can't do this anymore now. I'm just done for today. So it feels like you weren't able to accomplish it. It feels like you were really bad. I don't know. If it was opened up as you could do it as many times as you wanted, I'd say it's probably just on the same level as Extreme Super Battle Road. It really isn't that bad in my personal opinion, at least. So
Okay, so
and I did them all without the Goku and Vegeta. So I think that tells you that right there.
yeah, I was about to ask, like, if this God event isn't the hardest event in the game, which event is harder? Because I did a run with UI Goku on Extreme Super Battle Road for Super AGL, and this stage now is easy. Isn't even a word. I can get this every time, first try. Like I could do it right now. It's not a problem anymore, and that's why I would think that the God event is harder, but just a little bit, because you can cheese it out. I would say thanks to Tech Caulifla, we just saw it on the screen because the gods are part of the Universe Survivor Saga category. But yeah, I don't know what your opinion is, Nolar. Do you think there is a Extreme Super Battle Road stage that is harder, like Extreme Tech, maybe?
I mean,
It's called a
extreme
category.
maybe the categories, but like by the time we get there, I'm sure we'll get better cards if there's something holding you back. The only thing about the monotyping, the downside of them is that unless you've got Toa, it's going to be in some specific extreme tech units you might struggle, right? It's just literally the pool is pretty diluted, or no, pretty restrictive, I should say. Versus the categories, there are a lot of different units that like you might not take on a regular like Dokkan Fest event or a longer event, but they shined supremely well on Super Battle Road, right? So, so you can dust off some of those old units and throw them in there. So, to me, SBR is, while you might not have the unit, so you're gonna suffer. It's just the way it is. You just gotta wait to pull it, or if it comes to a redstone or any of those options to buy a unit straight out, then you could probably finish it. But like the God event, I'm like gonna harp on this, but 3 times only, especially with like terrible RNG. Like what if they're attacking evenly across the board and you just have that one unit that just can't really take too much of a hit, and you're like, oh, I'm just hoping I could get by with just 1 attack, but then there's like 4 on every slot. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think the God event is the hardest one, mostly because I just haven't had a lot of experience in it. Well, I mean, that's me personally. I haven't had time to get to it, but just in general, if you've been doing it every day and you've only got 3 attempts, that's the downside of it right now.
I know our global players here have been itching to say something because they've been unable to chime in. But let me ask you guys, as the Super Battle Road King and the king of all crazy ideas when it comes to long-form events, do you guys think that there is some no-item potential or some crazy meme team potential for this event? And if you had to take a team in right now from the global side, do you think global could remotely compete?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I know I see from most of the runs that I've seen, not for like no item attempts on it, but like the Majin Buu Battle of Wits team, because it's like probably one of the best teams in the game. There's not many units on that team that are not out on global yet, and obviously it's extra, like the extra difficulty is there, but it has those long form event strategy units like the Tech Gohan and stuff like that. Like those units are not only out on global, but obviously Tech Gohan just came back, so I think if it came out like tomorrow on global, obviously not everyone will be able to do it, but I guess that's the same thing with JP. And the one thing I was going to say about it, to add on to what Nalar was saying, it does seem very strange that it's like the brand new event that came out as part of the anniversary. So you'd think it was supposed to be like a big hype thing. So people who've maybe come back for the anniversary and stuff, it's this new mode that you want to play. But even if you didn't get like done over by RNG, you only get 3 tries and then you can't do it anymore. So it seems weird for it to be like the new anniversary event, but you can't like play it for throughout the whole anniversary essentially.
Alec?
Well, I mean, first off, you missed the most important question in there, Ningen. And the answer is there will always be meme teams.
Oh yeah.
Always. I know because I have Fizzbo to Magetta Rainbow. There will always be a meme team, even if
I
it's
do
just
too.
on my
Respect.
own shoulders.
Respect.
So, yeah, I agree. I don't think anybody on Global with a decent character box at this point will have a problem with this event. Caulifla, Gohan, I mean Fizzbo to Magetta, it's so great. Like you can do stupid things with combinations of characters. So I think it really comes down to how long you've been playing, how lucky you've been, what units you've pulled. Obviously there's cheat or trump cards for, every event. So, which is actually I think one of the strengths of the game is that they are now designing characters specifically for events instead of being jack of all trades.
So you're saying that even though Global doesn't have the 6-year right now, they could still do just fine, in spite of the fact that they don't have the units that were tailor made for this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
easily.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go.
You,
Global power, folks.
you have SCR Vegito. If you make his team, you're basically good to go.
You have the Universe 6 Peppy Gals. You're good to go. I'm sorry.
Throwing attack and everything still worked. Actually, they could probably beat it. Yes.
I mean, with the awakenings for Caulifla, she becomes somewhat viable in this after she gets her super attacks off, and especially if she gets additional supers. Tech Caulifla, I mean, Strength Kale she guards against everything, so long as there's a Caulifla on rotation, and we all know the power of the LR girls. So I mean, you get them, their TUR, Kale, Caulifla, the Strength Kale, Tech Caulifla, and I don't know, Kefla. You get Kefla and you make sure that you feed her orbs. You're probably
you run
gonna be
double
solid through the whole
Kefla
thing.
leads. And then that'd be
Or double Fizzbo to Magetta. They all have tournament power.
somebody
saying.
do that. Do it for your. Do it.
You
for
know
a
I'm
video.
going to.
He will do it. You don't even have to say somebody.
You don't
He
have.
will do it.
That's mine. That's
Well, I
me.
mean, someone
Why?
who's got it now on JP.
Let's also talk about top grossing, because every time you look, apparently JP just keeps getting more and more top grossing. What are we at now as a grand total? Like 150 or something like
130.
that?
130.
130.
Yeah.
So it's only been a week, and we obviously last week we talked about how in record time we hit top grossing. Do you guys foresee any additional top grossing waves coming into JP, or have we effectively ended the honeymoon phase or the summon phase, and now people are just enjoying the fruits of their labor?
Depends what part 2 LRs are, I think, because unless the part 2 LR banner is something extremely hype, I mean, if going off of what we think it's going to be, because it's themed around the representatives of Universe 7, the only unit that hasn't been represented in this particular celebration yet is 17. And so a lot of people are having speculations that it's a 17 in Frieza, or it's just a standalone 17 in general, whatever it happens to be and everything. So unless he is like super hype or super really, really good, I personally don't see top grossing, because we also do have the 66 ticket LR summon that will come in most likely part 3. By the way, cute cat there. And then after that is going to be whatever those special thank you ticket things, which are supposed to be happening probably next week. They said Nigatsu Chu, which means middle of February. So we don't know exactly what that banner is going to look like and everything. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen there.
We also have the... Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just saying that with the top grossing, the only thing about it is we've hit it right now in part 1. We hit it both on iOS and Android, which is you guys don't know, Android's not very popular in Japan. It's pretty much all Apple, right?
It's pretty
Talon?
all it's all iOS. It's all iOS for the most part.
Which is why you see like the huge fluctuation from like, oh, Android's at like that like, didn't even hit top 50, and then all of a sudden we're gonna hit top grossing. So anniversaries, like big celebrations, when you hit both on both app stores and in the iOS store, that's pretty big. I imagine part 2 maybe will have enough pull with depending on what the LRs are, because there's going to be another set of sales. Usually there is for part 2. So that potentially could spur it further to at least get it on iOS. I don't know if we'll get it again on Android. We'll see how that turns out. But yeah, that's a possibility. It all depends on what the cards are, though, because if it's just a 17 by himself, or if it's a trio of like 17, Frieza, and Goku, like sure, that would work. Or just if it's a standalone hit, is that hype enough? I don't know. So it all depends on what the cards will show. But we've already hit it on part 1, which is great. Normally we do. It's part 2 is kind of a hit or miss, right? So
yeah, that's generally how it is.
Hit or miss. I see what you did there.
Hit
Yeah, I
would
think
not get top grossing.
I think it could. One of the part 2 LRs could potentially be a 17 that then has a partner super attack with a representatives of Universe 7 Goku or Frieza.
Or maybe both. Maybe you have to have both on rotation to actually trigger
Yeah.
that partner super attack.
It could be both as well, because then I guess technically the LR would count for both of those things as well, which would be cool.
Man, we got a cat parade going here.
And there are free-to-play versions of both the Tournament of Power Frieza and Goku as well, so it gets around that issue. But yeah, that'd be kind of
Gotcha
cool.
issue.
Because by having it be just 17 on his own, and then having the partner super factor, it means you could actually use him on the Android category, because he'd get to be on it, because it's only him on the card.
Speaking of part 2 LRs, we also have the LR Roshi on the way. Do you guys potentially see an EZA coming about? And if so, how would they build this guy? We obviously don't know what the LR looks like yet, but do you guys have any thoughts? Any speculation?
You can use. Oh, sorry.
No, good.
I think you can use the Zamasu Goku from last year as kind of a template for what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd imagine things like his leader skill and stuff will probably be exactly the same in terms of like the numbers and stuff once he's fully awakened up. Yeah, I would imagine he's very much not copy and paste, but like the same template. And then just like the Zamasu Goku, we'll probably see like his passive will remain mostly the same. It will just get bigger numbers in it for each of the different things.
Oh, not like that. Yay.
He just
You guys
likes
make me
to
want
make
my
things
dog. I
difficult.
want
He's
a dog
sitting
now.
on
I miss my dogs
on
back
my
in the
headphones.
States.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely agree with what Sunblade was saying about was it Sunblade talking?
No, it was Alec.
Alec,
Or
sorry.
Alex, sorry.
I'm sorry. It's
can't
morning
tell them
here.
apart.
It's morning here. All right. Don't give me anything.
I got off work.
Tune.
I'm tired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I agree with what you're saying though. I mean, if we just follow what basically the Zamas did from last year, Roshi's the same thing, right? So currently as a TUR, he gets defense, he gets attack on his super attack does he get attack on his super? I think he does.
Yeah,
I
greatly
remember.
raises attack.
Yeah, greatly raises on his super attack, and then he also gives some support and everything.
Yeah. Turtle
Right?
School
Yeah.
allies key +1 attack and defense +20.
Yeah, right. To hit to the new category that he brought. So most likely we're just gonna see jumps in that. The greatly raised an attack on super attack, that probably stays the same. Or that's still gonna be his 12 key super attack, and then maybe the 18 key super attack will be greatly raises attack and defense for one turn or something like that.
Would it be illegal to massively raise attack and cause mega colossal damage?
I don't see why not. I mean, it's a free to play card, so I mean, it's not gonna be.
I mean, if anything, his stats are going to be neutered enough, so that might be just just below like a standalone LR, you know?
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That would kind of speak
So-
to if they do the final Kamehameha type deal. That would be nice.
Well, we know he's gonna be buff Roshi, so
Yeah.
yeah.
By the way, Talon,
Yes.
Ichiban Kuji. What does that mean?
Ichiban Kuji. Do you have the kanji? Because there's multiple different sayings for Kuji.
Okay, I was really hoping you'd take that
Wait,
segue away. So there's the Dokkan's got some Ichiban Kuji stuff on the way, And let's open for you to say the segue. do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so you just trolled me on purpose.
I think he totally
Okay,
saved
thank you.
that segue.
All right, take it away, jerk.
No, it's all you, man. It's all you.
No, I don't know. Talon. What? Okay, Talon. Let me ask you for the first time. What is Ichiban Kuji? Could you explain to the general audience what that is all about, and why is B-Pan involved?
Why is B-Pan involved? Okay, so so if you're talking about the B-Pan event thing that's returned, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just seeing the chat right now, just going on.
Move on.
All right, moving on after trolling Tune and everything like that. Basically, with the B-Pan event and everything, there's two things to look at here. First off, it's another way to get the second version of the B-Pan up to SA 10. So if you wanted to get it, if you're more of a newer player, then you can get it up to SA 20 if you really don't want to spend Kais or anything. But the other, I guess, theory right now is that there is a potential EZA coming in for B-Pan. That's just a theory right now. There's no actual evidence or anything like that. We'll have to wait and see. And one thing to note is that you can only do it once per day, and you can only do it's only like 12 acts, so it's not like the actual normal B-Pan event where it's like 100 stamina, great for maybe getting some links leveled up if you're lucky enough and everything like that. So but that's basically what's going on with that event.
Didn't we have a similar event to that during the 5-year?
Did we?
Yeah, but with different
Or
cards.
was it the
yeah.
4-year when they introduced the character? I can't remember.
I don't remember. That was over a year ago.
Well,
Yeah, the 4-year was when she became an LR.
Yeah, when she became an LR in 4-year. I think they introduced her during second year, right? Was that event during second year? Like the first time the
which is
B-Pan
the
event showed
TUR
up.
one.
Yeah. Man,
I
that was a
wanna
long time ago.
Yeah, I mean it's been like a long time, guys. It's been 5+ years for me. I want to say it's like second year is when they brought out the B-Pan event, and then it became like, oh, you could rank up with it, right? So I want to say that's what it is, but I can't remember. I mean, she's okay. The only downside is a chance of damage reduction. Just
I was going to
sucks.
say,
We talked about
she
it.
needs to get an
Yeah.
EZA and then just scrap that chance to reduce damage
yeah.
part, and then she becomes really, really good.
Well, you know that if they... Well, what is that chance right now? Is it a medium chance? It is a high
like-
chance?
50%, isn't it?
50, it's like 55% or something like odd number. I forgot. Let me
Oh
look
yeah,
it up.
I think it is something. I think it is 55. Let me see.
I doubt that they would remove the restriction of it being like an RNG thing, but they might bump it up to 70.
They should.
Maybe 77.
No. It's a high chance. It's still a high chance, but it reduces the damage by 55. That's what it was.
Oh, that's
Okay.
okay. Yeah. I remember the number 55 was there somewhere. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just
High
make it
chances what?
100%. She's still
Yes.
like, she can still take damage in the hardest events, although obviously not that much. And then she's just going to be there as a tank. Like, she heals when she does damage, but she doesn't do a lot of damage. So just by making it so she always has that damage reduction, she's not going to be broken or anything. She's not going to be like LR STR freezer level, so it's fine.
Like Jesus. Yeah. I mean,
All right.
the thing about her is that her active skill is like great, but and she was one of the first ones to get the active skill during year 4, right?
Yeah.
One of the first like free to play cards that got an active skill. So, you know, I guess like you could make the argument that the chance for her having damage reduction is offset by the fact that she gives a huge boost to your allies' offensive capabilities.
Yeah.
You could make that argument. It still sucks though. I don't like it personally, but yeah, I guess you'd say that.
Any final thoughts on the 6th year, on Blue Evolution Vegeta and White Hair Goku? Any thoughts?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
I'll tell you in July.
The only thing I don't like about these cards is just that new categories they introduced.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing I could say. Like, I could have done without those personally. But look, they want to push that. They're gonna push it, and they're not bad categories. They're just not very definitive because everyone is making an argument. Oh, so and so should be in this, or why is that person in there? It's just I hate that kind of the back and forth on that. So
Yeah.
Let me also just say, I don't want to make this about me, but I'm going to say this real quick, and I'm going to say this once. Royal Blue is the better name, but if I'm gonna stoop to that level and call it Blue Evolution, and we're going to make it generic and uninspired as, then I will call UI Goku White Hair Goku. Deal with it. All right. So let's move on to the topic that everybody cares about. Global Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Monke.
Yes.
So, guys, obviously this is the TUR version of Jiren that everyone has been waiting for, and we are so excited. We all summoned. We all got him. Let's start with you, Nick.
Yeah, Hydros.
How are you?
Great.
How are you taking the monkey?
Ah, yes. So obviously I went in deep on the Heroes banner. Got them all to full level 10 links. So I've been patiently waiting for Gogeta to come out, and the karma swung back in the right direction, because I trash talked Jiren for ages, and then I decided to go in on his banner a little bit and got absolutely destroyed. And then I've been hyping up Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta for months, and not only did I pull I pulled a copy first multi. I think by the time I'd done 150 stones, I'd already pulled 2. So yeah, and I just finished getting him to level 10 links today, so it took almost a week. But yeah, he is just absolutely ridiculous. So good. And his banner, by them adding Gohan, I've said it before on my own Twitter and stuff, but I think the banner is a must summon for everyone. You should do those first 3 multis for 100 stones, because the banner has the 2 best TURs on global featured on it, and you get 3 multis for the price of 2. So
Hashtag JP Shaft.
yeah. So yeah, you should absolutely summon. I've seen loads. I know obviously not everyone's going to have that good luck, but I've seen so many screenshots of people pulling him from like the discounted steps, and then obviously there's that ticket pack as well. That is not guaranteed because it's not guaranteed featured, but I mean I pulled GoBros with mine, so it's the banner's been pretty good overall. I mean I didn't need them. I now have their SSR rainbow, but
That's exactly what happened to me too.
Wow, okay.
That's what happened to me too. I pulled so
Look at
many
these
GoPros.
whales. Look at these
Yeah, I
whales.
know, right? Look at these whales.
well, the
out here.
worst part is the GoBros was the first character I ever bought with red coins. I bought 2 copies of them, and have now pulled so many copies of them. I have a second one rainbowed.
Bet you regret that second purchase, don't you?
Yeah, I'm about to say you must regret that purchase there.
Well, you know why? It's because they came back on the Tanabata banner on global, so I bought 2 copies so I could have 2 dupes, and then they returned on Bardock's banner, and in the time it took me to pull my first Bardock, I pulled 4 copies of them. So straight away, the first thing I bought with coins was a complete waste of time. But yeah,
Obviously, I was being a little sarcastic and a little dramatic when I said everybody got, monkey. But Alec, how was your summoning session? How did you do?
Well, I mean, it's like Ningen said, not everybody has luck with tickets, but I'm not one of those people, and I pulled them off the tickets.
Okay. the way you were prefacing that, I was wait. Okay.
I knew already,
feel
but
bad?
I liked that setup. But
Right. So
Yeah,
it was actually on stream, so with 5-9. But yeah, I bought the ticket pack. I think it was like $7. I got him off of the tickets. I did the
so good.
discounted multis, and I wasn't really satisfied with what I got, so I went back in for one more full price multi and got GoBros. So I believe that's first dupe of GoBros for me.
That's pretty good.
So I can't complain about the banner. I mean, a huge step up in value on that banner as well for us getting Gohan instead of who was it, Kefla?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a massive increase to the value of the banner. That right there is a JP shaft, right?
I mean, they knew, right? Like they knew with the 6th year just looming in everyone's minds. They knew that they're gonna have to take extra steps to make these banners a little more enticing, a little more appealing. So do you guys foresee from here on in all the way until June, July, whenever Global gets the 6th year, do you foresee more pretty crazy savings and deals from the Pilaf's Trove? Do you guys foresee more Global deals in future banners?
Don't they technically always? I mean, for
But-
the most part.
But this one was a little extra. I don't think we expected the feature change as well as the discount as well as the ticket, right?
Yeah, so after we saw what happened with Frieza's banner, obviously Frieza is really good. His banner's good. So we got a very basic Pilaf ticket and obviously no discounts or anything. Whereas, and I feel like they do that because they know people really want Frieza, so they would summon even if there wasn't those extra incentives. And so you would say the same thing about Gogeta, but yeah, apparently they decided to be a little bit extra generous. Maybe it was because it's kind of like throwing Global a bone because JP is having their anniversary, so they want Global to at least have a little bit of extra hype. Because yeah, I think a lot of people we saw on social media and stuff, ever since Global got the Heroes banner, basically, that loads of people on Global were hyped for Gogeta to come. So I feel like people were always going to summon for him.
Well, and I think a lot of the, it's probably also a business move, right? If you give people a lot of these, discounts and tickets and everything, and then they potentially don't get what they want, they have probably a higher chance to go back into the banner and keep spending their stones or spend more money, essentially. And so it's all a business move to them, because then you have Sand Day coming up in March, which we assume is going to be a combined celebration between Global and JP like it was last year.
Yep.
And generally people will summon on that as well. And then April can maybe kind of be maybe your save up month, or your not going in and summoning month. But then May comes up with Goku Day, and whether it's a global first or it's the same LR that JP gets for part 2 and Golden Week and everything like that, or whatever happens, right? It all of a sudden, your saved up stones that as a global player, let's say you had 1,500 stones saved up because you're like, got the LR Vegeta Blue and Goku UI, and then all of a sudden you're down to like 50 stones because you've been summoning all these hype moments. They're gonna that's a win in their book for Akatsuki.
Yeah, and because you got to remember as well, we don't know obviously yet what it's going to be, but the first Dokkan Fest that comes after the anniversary is over, the last 2 years in a row has then been before the anniversary on Global. So if that's something crazy hype as well, like another potential contender for best TUR in the game, and then that's something that's going to come out on Global before the anniversary, because obviously last year it was Beerus, and a lot of people were excited to summon for him. So yeah, something like that happening right before the anniversary is very likely again.
Yeah, I mean, these guys know, first and foremost, it's a business, so they're here to get your money. And they have all the studies, they have all the people, the smart experts to figure out how to extract all of the money from all of us, right? So, I think having the discounted stones and the tickets and stuff, it's good. We don't really, this time around, the tickets didn't have a guaranteed featured, right?
Yeah, that's right. Same with Frieza's one.
Yeah, so I think they're just waiting for like the super lull ones where everyone's like, no, I'm not gonna go in. But it's like, hey, you buy the tickets, whatever. How much were the tickets this time around?
$7.
It was like $8.
It was $7, yeah.
Right, so it's like, oh, I'll just throw $8 at this, $7, whatever, and there's a guaranteed feature. Yeah, sure, why not? You can probably get a lot of dolphins, maybe not free to play, but people who wouldn't open up the wall, be like, it's $8. Who knows? I'll get a featured unit. It might be the one unit I want, and I can just dip out of the banner, right? And that's better than, nope, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to save all my stones and close my wallet till the 6th year starts and all that stuff. So, it's a good move on their end to do that.
Yep.
I hope it would come to JP at some point, but unfortunately, it looks like it'll never come to JP. Hashtag JP Shaft.
Never.
I'm right there with you, Nolar. It's always hashtag JP Shaft.
But but the thing I wanted to mention was like, Ningen, you're like, oh, JP's having an anniversary, like Global's gonna give them a bone. It's like, okay, if Global gets a bone, then JP players get pissed and they get something even better, like just right after. It just always happens. Oh, Global's having an anniversary. Hey, we got Tanabata, guys. Like, look what's going on. It's just there's always a timing thing, and I know it fuels the JP versus Global thing, but I've just noticed that the last like 5 years I've been playing this game. That's the thing that they always do.
Didn't Global get UI like right before the 5-year, and then a week later JP got it or something? Last year.
Yeah, I think it was a week or two.
I think it was two weeks later. Yeah.
It was like a couple weeks. Yeah.
Global first. Okay. What is surprising and possibly considered a global shaft? No top grossing. We have not seen a top grossing on Global for the Gogeta banner. Is that at all a surprise to you guys?
No.
Well, I mean, if everyone pulled them into discount, or a good chunk of people pulled into discount, and I don't know how good your sales were, but that's good. What top grossing is, right? It's not the summons, it's the buying of the stones. So if your sales are not that great, or again your ticket was only $7 and that's what most people bought, then it's kind of not surprising that you didn't get top grossing. So
Well,
Yeah.
it's really not surprising that we didn't hit top grossing, considering most of the player base just got between 200 and 600 free stones back in their box.
exactly that too.
There's
yeah,
no
if
way
you
that we
just
were going to hit
didn't-
top grossing on this banner because everybody is
Yeah.
sitting on a surplus of stones from getting refunded from the banner that everybody was saving
good point,
saving up for. Blah.
Yeah, that too. So
Yeah, I know a lot of people probably blew them on the Freezer banner, but yeah, a lot of people would have saved them for Gogeta. I saw people saying they were going to after getting the refunds. But yeah, I'm not surprised, mainly because just the sales are so bad. We always get these, like, as hype as Gogeta is, his celebration is essentially like what I would call a filler celebration. And
Yeah.
for the filler celebrations, we only get the 300 stones worth of sales. And so a lot of people, whether they're going to summon on the banner or not, will buy all the sales, because someone like me, I don't like to buy full price stones if I have to. So if a banner I'm not that bothered about summoning on, I'll still buy all the sales and then I'll just save them. So that's the thing, is we hit top grossing on global when there's a big celebration because there's a ton of sales. But yeah, so I'm kind of not surprised that we didn't hit it for him, unfortunately, because I feel like a lot of people did summon, but yeah, there's not a lot of people necessarily spent money because they either had the sales, got them in the discounts, or they had all those stones saved up from the refunds and stuff. So
yeah,
So-
pretty much.
If I can go off on a little tangent here,
Do it.
it makes me wonder what's coming. Like part 2, we have a couple of options. You know, we know that somewhere they're going to schedule in a global first because, you know, Akatsuki hates me and they'll never stop doing that.
yes,
So-
global first forever.
Right. So what is it that they're going to stick in, and how much value are they going to put in the banner right before it to suck people's stones dry? I mean, because I don't feel like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta banner did that because we had that surplus. Like, I'm still sitting at almost 500 stones afterwards.
See, what I want to see, and so we know there's going to be a slot for a global first somewhere, but they could throw
Global
it in
first
anywhere.
Garlic Junior.
They could throw it in anywhere.
Okay, I take it.
So
I take it. I'm
Yes.
ready.
a
Let's
unit
do
that
it.
we've been waiting for a long time, that I think would still be kind of hype, and because the character's not overly hyped, JP players wouldn't have to get too upset. But imagine if the part 2 for Gogeta is the LR Sin Shenron who transforms into Omega and is finally the 170 lead for Shadow Dragons.
Oh,
Yeah, JP
gimme.
hates GT. That should be fine.
That'd be so
Gimme,
good.
gimme.
I would love
Yeah,
that.
Even with
So
Gogeta having that secondary lead, Shadow Dragons still only has 150 category leaders, so that'd be awesome.
Nola, are you
See-
trying to say something?
No, yeah, it's not Super Saiyan 4, so Japan wouldn't care. So you can have all the
exactly.
Shadow Dragons you
You're
want.
not wrong. You're not wrong.
Well, I mean, the one thing is you're talking like a legendary summon, or you're talking like a Dokkan Fest LR, like standalone.
I guess
thingy.
technically it would be a legendary summon, but I mean they gave Jiren a ridiculously high leader skill, so
That is true, but that might work because it's a really like Jiren's.
it's a very small category.
Yeah, there's only
Shadow
like
Dragons
there's like
still.
7 units total, right? And Shadow Dragon Saga, there's what, like 12, maybe.
Yeah.
So you could probably get away with that. I don't think it would be the transforming one because I think they really want to save the, I mean, at least in my mind, a dual Dokkan Fest transforming Sin into Omega and then Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta into Gogeta.
Yes, I could see that.
I think it could just be a straight up like all the Shadow Dragons on the card kind of thing.
That would be cool.
You know, right? Like as a joint forces, all the Shadow Dragons together. But yeah, I could see that happening. But is that hype enough to really take people's stones?
No, I don't think so.
Some
You know,
people
that's-
maybe, I don't know. It depends
Yeah,
what
but
it
it-
is. In
That's
terms
also
of
true.
how good
I
good
think
they
I
are.
think the only
guess.
thing that would truly take people's stones, I'm just looking at global here, it would either have to be like a new like base form transforming OG LR Broly or something like that
Yeah, they love the Broly's.
to do that. That would do it.
Another
think.
global first Broly.
And people
That we don't get
say no
back
way would I
for
summon
months.
for it. Tell that to the last LR Broly that came out.
Yep.
Yeah.
because
So,
hype.
you know, plus that hype of a global first, right? It's like, oh, it's global first. It's not what JP has. So of course you're going to summon on it, right? And yeah, and so it's going to happen. So
So if you're on Team Global, would you rather have, if you had to just take a chance and you could choose between either LR Turles or a Global First, which would you prefer on the next LR banner?
One person
Turles.
says Turles.
Global First.
Global
Screw
First?
Global First.
So LR Turles is not that big a pull for you?
No, that's the problem. LR Turles is a unit that I really, really want, but I just spent a whole bunch of stones getting Gogeta. So I would like a Global
So he
First to
doesn't
come
give me the
next, and
cooldown.
then if it's not that hype, I don't have to summon for it.
Well, I think the
right.
thing with Turles is that there's two things. One, we obviously know Turles is an amazing card. There's no doubt about it. But the problem with him is that his banner is garbage. Like any normal legendary summon banner,
Yep.
it's garbage, right? So a lot of people will not summon on that.
Yep.
Which, by the way, good job. You should not be summoning on those banners because they suck.
Yeah,
And
you're
then
free
the
to play,
second part, yeah. And then the second one is just simply in terms of the character himself. If you there are a lot of players that don't follow Dokkan as close as we do. They don't watch the JP showcases or anything, and they don't keep up the track on that stuff. They just simply will log in one day and see Turles, and they're like, "Oh, just Turles, whatever," and then they won't summon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of the downside right there.
I feel like Turles has always done fairly well. Like when the AGL one came out on Global, I feel like most people summoned for him. Obviously, like again, if you did follow the game, you knew that he was good and worth getting. But
Yeah, but it doesn't matter about the first banner. Nobody else summoned for him for like 11 months, so.
Yeah.
It took for a while for him to come back. If I remember correctly.
And at the time, there were no coins. So you just had to pull him.
Oh, yeah.
You had to pull him, and you had to like wait till he came back to pull him. Man, you gotta ask Resh about his little history with AGL Turles.
Ooh,
tell
that's
you
a
all
story
about it.
right there. That's a story.
But I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, Turles is he's gonna come. If he's not coming now, he'll come with Bojack, right? And
yeah, probably.
Yep.
Probably.
that would make sense because Terrifying Conquerors, they're both on it. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of rolls together
Yeah,
that way.
they're both movie bosses. Turles is on Bojack's category, so they fit together.
It's a nice
pretty
little
well.
tie-in. I mean, granted, look, it makes sense to me, but logic doesn't really work with Akatsuki sometimes. So
No, our Logic and Akatsuki, they don't go hand in hand. All right.
Right,
They
so-
just don't.
so if he doesn't come now, he'll probably come with Bojack. I don't know, man. Like I agree with Talon. If you're free to play, you shouldn't be touching those banners ever. Maybe you wanted to try your luck through a multi or something like that, but probably not worth it. But for you guys, I would say you should probably want a Global First, just because of the hype, right? I think that's the biggest thing is everyone summons based on the hype. Even
Yeah,
if the character
absolutely
isn't
not.
necessarily like great, like look at Hit, right? Your first ever Global First unit wasn't necessarily the hypest unit, but people did summon on him because hey, this is something new. Like no JP doesn't have. You got that comparison. But the other side of it too is just literally like I don't even know what this character does. Like he seems so good on paper, and then you actually play with him and find out he's pretty trash, well, at least by today's standards. Back then he was okay, but right now that's the only thing is like us JP players, like we know that it's like, oh, it's a new unit, okay, well, I'm gonna try my luck to get him, and I'm gonna get him, but and we're gonna see how he plays. But for us now, it's on the flip side, it's like, oh, so he is pretty trash, so I don't really want to summon for a tech hit. So yeah, I can wait off on that banner. Like it's kind of nice being on the other side for once. So
Yeah.
I kind of want you guys to have a Global First, so I could be like, yeah, I'm gonna maybe spend 1,000 less stones on that one, or 2,000 less stones. So
But yeah, the thing in like Global First, Hit was hype when he came out because he was the first like good hit as well, which people had
Yeah, that's
wanted
true.
for ages. And people were hyped for him when he dropped because he seemed really good on paper, and then like when you saw his numbers, like the first time you saw like a rainbow showcase that someone put up or something, he seemed really good, but he just dropped off really quickly because of how much
Meta
the meta
change.
shifted towards defense. But the thing is, if you think about like the thing for me, the reason I love Global First is because it's hype, right? Like I play Global, so it's as much as I like all the things about being able to follow the JP schedule, knowing what to save for. There is that undeniable factor of it's hype to get something new that the other side doesn't have. And if you think about like 3 big examples, because there haven't been that many overall, but think of 3 big examples: Go Bros, LRUI Goku, Tech Broly.
Tech Broly.
Three of those units, they might not be in like the top 10, but all three of those are like amazing units. Like UI probably isn't the top 10, but all three of those are fantastic units, and they were global firsts, and each one of them was like super hype when they came out. So I feel like I don't think we're going to get a global first and then it just be some lame character that nobody cares about. So I would be hyped for one.
Before we move on to the... Go ahead. Last thing.
Yeah, no. I mean, Ningen's absolutely right. But the reason why, like, I personally like to play JP is because I want to play with the new units, the new shiny toys, right? And I get like the foaming at the mouth. Like, oh, I want it so bad. I really want to play with this. Like UI Goku, I get to play with him now instead of wait 5-6 months later. You know, I'm an impatient
Hydros,
person.
New emote right there. Please do it.
So my whole point is like that. You can apply if you did with Global First, you apply that same concept, and you can just drain people of their stones. So they're gonna strategically put a pretty good hype-worthy Global First character where it's gonna be like a month and a half, 2 months right before the anniversary or something else that's super hype, and then people are gonna have to buy. And that's the whole point, right? The end of the day, Bandai, Akatsuki, they're looking for your money. They want to make you part ways with your cash so that you can get that chance to get the new shiny unit. They're going to do what they can. So that's my spiel on that. I mean, you're right. Not wrong.
Hey, Sunblade.
Hey, Toon.
Wie geht's? Alles gut?
Mir geht's gut. Ich unterbreche nur nicht. Nein. Okay, let's talk in English. No one won't confuse you. So I didn't want to interrupt the other guys. So, yeah.
I was kind of hoping you keep that going. All right. Well, just wanted to, chime in and say hi. Let's move on to the last topic before we head to break. Masked Saiyan. We are literally talking about this because of our boy, the Masked Ningen. We love him, and he, of course, loves the Masked Saiyan. He is getting an EZA. So, take it away, bud. Are you hyped? Are you hyped? Does this guy deliver with that EZA?
How I've waited for this day. Many a time have I posted a screenshot of my box with the spare SA5 one ready to go and the sticker waiting with his name on it, just waiting for that day. And one thing I have to say, like, I did have that little moment of pride. You know, when you've established your brand effectively, when the news dropped that he was getting an EZA on JP, and I woke up to like 100 notifications from people on Twitter tagging me in the post being like, look, it's finally happening. So yeah, very excited. Mine is obviously full level 10 links ready to go. And yeah, his EZA is really good. Obviously he doesn't become like, one of the best units in the game, but it's a marked improvement. He's actually usable in Super Battle Road now, because when there's more than 2 enemies, he actually has a passive. And yeah, in long form events, he's going to be good because he's an infinite stacker. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with him. Quite excited to get that done and then have another go at the All Bardock team.
We are also seeing the return of a few old faces we haven't seen on Global in quite some time, with Toa and Mira, and then also Demigra, who has been around quite a bit. You always hate when you summon him, is getting TURs. So any thoughts on those units and those TURs? Are they worth picking up? Are they worth summoning on that category banner? Because I'm actually going to jump in on a category banner for once.
Okay, so let me jump in here. I discussed this topic with Ningen earlier, and yeah, I did a multi on this banner, and I got all 3 units in the same multi on the first one. But I would say, yeah, because it has like the blue coins, I would say step away from the banner, because all of those units will be part of the general summon pool, and they are not like, oh my god, you gotta get them, like kind of units. You can beat the respective Super Battle Road stages without them, even though I have to say that Toa is really good. She's extreme tech. Yeah. She supports that category. She gives key +3, right? So that's huge for the team. Yep. And 35% attack and defense.
Key +3. Yep.
Really big deal. But the experience I had is always like, when I pick up this kind of unit on this special banner, I rainbow them immediately afterwards, because I cannot stop pulling them. And then I'm like, yeah, why did I summon on this special banner? And yeah, but Toa is really good. I like Mira on power absorption, extreme physical, And yeah, Demigra is fun. I love the giant transformation, and but as I said, step away from the banner, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, it's blue coins. I mean, I think for the most part, most people don't summon on that type of particular banner. You know, and again, they're going to be in the general pool. I can tell you from personal experience, the moment that they came out on JP, and then the next Dokkan Fest that we got, which I don't even remember what it was at this point, but after that, I pulled 3 copies of Toa. I pulled a copy of Mira, and then I was just like, okay, well, they're just showing up. So again, but like Sunblade said, you don't need them to beat everything. Just I would say Toa is the best out of all 3 personally, because she's a support unit and she helps extreme tech, because everyone still complains about that. So yeah, that's.
But yeah, it's still a thing. There's no cohesion in extreme tech, man. It's the worst team.
Janemba was supposed to be that, but then Team A just came in and been like, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
No. I was like, curse you, Team A.
Well,
So,
I tell you what, Toon. If you're gonna go in on that category banner, then I will go in with you.
Yeah, dude.
Hey,
I
was just about to say, so it's just you and me then, Toon, because I'm definitely summoning on it. Because
I am
I
definitely
only
What is
got,
it, 5-9-3 way now?
Yeah.
I only
number
got-
number 1 is because purely aesthetic. I want that Super Saiyan 5 Mira. I know that's not the name, but I want that Super Saiyan 5 Mira. I think he looks amazing. Also, you know, Toa's not freaky, but she'll do. And they all kind of do different things. We got a support, we got an attack unit, and then we got a stunner. And I want all of these guys on my team ASAP. Even though, you know, they will be in the general pool. I don't have any of... Well, actually, I have Demigra. But I don't have the other 2. And I want to just have at least one so I can, you know, mess around with those team builds. So this is going to be the first category summon I'll actually be hyped for.
Yeah, like depending on when you started the game, because I think you're in that boat. Like they were never available at any point
in the general pool. Yeah.
And I have 1 copy of Mira, and I have I have 1 Toa and 1 dupe in Mira, but because it was right back when I first started playing the game, because resources are much more scarce on a newer account. The way I used to look at like lower tier characters when I pulled a dupe, I didn't think I was ever going to use Kai's to make him SA10, so I opened his top left path instead. So obviously now that I, you know, obviously if he hadn't been taken out of the pool by now, I probably would have pulled so many copies that it wouldn't matter. But
the hell was
yeah,
that?
so now that he's back, I'm going to at least do the 3 30-stone discount moes to see if I can get at least 1 copy of him and 2 more copies of Toa. And of course, even though it's super low rates and the banner is guaranteed featured in the 10th spot, that banner does actually have all the LRs in it as well. So you never know.
All right, well, that is going to wrap up the first half of the show. But fear not, we're going to be coming back after the break with your questions. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
All right, guys. So real quickly before we get into the questions today, I want to give a shout out to some of our awesome supporters and everything. So first off, shout out to Zephyr for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much, my man. As always, you're an amazing supporter of our channel here. Next is from Nug. He cheered 1 bit. So thank you so much, man. Much appreciated. And then finally, really, dude? Really? The Masked Ningen, he gave out 1 tier 1 sub. I don't know who this Masked Ningen guy is. He's whatever, I guess. But, you know, yeah.
I
You're
thought
a
it'd
good
just
man,
be
Charlie
nice.
Brown.
Throw a sub out there into the ether, see who gets it.
Yeah, I guess so. So, whatever. It is what it is. So, anyway, without further ado, Toon, go ahead and start the questions up now.
Thank you, Talon. A couple of days before the show, we normally send out a tweet to let you guys know the show coming up so you guys can post your questions. But Gale kind of dropped the ball with this one and didn't post it. We're going to fire him. So we went ahead
Takes our
and
luck, forgets tweets.
we picked all the questions from the Discord this time around. And also, Gale decided to Gale that up as well by making the screenshots extremely tiny. So bear with me as I try to read these questions. Thank you, Gale. First question is brought to us by SSJ Turles. SSJ Turles asks, what units will they need to add in Dokkan this year to be more hype than the 6-year LRs?
Goku and Hit. Got Goku and Hit. Is my pick.
The starting out as Blue Gogeta and Full Power Broly from the DBS Broly movie. That would be hype still.
That would do it. Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that being
because
hype.
the hype still exists for that movie, I think, still.
I want to
we've
see
had one
God versions
celebration
of the
based
2
on it.
fusions, Gogeta and Vegeta.
As awesome as
so you
that
want more
would be,
hero
I
stuff.
doubt it will happen, but I would absolutely love to see something like that.
Year 7 right there. Anniversary units.
Start
that'll
going in the
be
opposite
The Dragon Ball
direction,
Heroes anniversary, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say there'll be
Yeah.
Heroes cards probably, but Super
Right.
Saiyan 3, Vegito, and Gogeta.
I still think Saiyan Saga, Goku, and Giant Ape Vegeta would still sell very, very well.
That would definitely sell well.
Piccolo
I guess
versus
if we
Goku.
got some kind of
Yeah, Junior versus
OG
Goku,
Dragon Ball stuff, that would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I would actually
Martin,
love is Goku versus Cell from the Cell Saga during the Cell games. That would be
That'd be
nice.
cool.
Yep.
I like.
Yeah,
I
because
like
isn't
that
that the first and possibly only, I can't remember, but isn't that where the Warp Kamehameha actually comes from? The
Right.
fight against
Yep.
Cell.
Yep.
Yeah,
Imagine
yeah,
that
it's
in
in
like
Cell.
current generation
Yes.
Dokkan super attack animations. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we all expected it back during the 350 million download celebration or anything. No,
Yeah.
not at all. We clearly wanted more androids, right, guys?
Yeah, those androids are great.
All right, moving on to the next question. Gold Warrior number 1 asks, do you think we should get more focused celebrations like this for other small celebrations around the year? That way, they can focus building each category rather than introducing new categories and leaving them alone.
I mean, I don't.
Didn't this just add another new category? 2 categories though. So
Yeah, I don't see him stopping adding categories.
Yeah.
It's very clear that the more categories they have, the more leaders they can have. Therefore, the more Dokkan Fest units they can sell.
I don't know. I think personally for something like they technically do already do focused types of celebrations and everything that are around something.
Yeah.
But the whole new category thing's not gonna end. That's never gonna end, unfortunately. As much as we would love to simply say, you know, oh nope, okay, every card coming out now is just gonna be refined categories. It's going to improve them. You know, it really helps the categories that are low and everything. Let's be honest, that's really not gonna happen, unfortunately.
Give
So,
us a 170 Pure Saiyans leader, you cowards.
Yeah.
well, we all thought that would be Vegeta, and I was kind of hoping that would have been the case, but
I think if anything, that like to just spice it up, they're gonna have to change what leader skills do. Like they could still be category leader skills. They could still give the key. They could still give some kind of a percentage boost. But like, how cool would it be to have like a Pure Saiyans leader give 3 key, 150 to all stats, and gives your team a 5% chance to evade attacks.
Okay.
Or like a 5% chance to crit, or to like just from the leader skill, it gives it to the whole team.
Okay. So basically putting the potential system into the leader skill.
Yeah, because they've
I
started
mean-
doing it with passives and stuff now, I guess.
Right. I mean,
yeah.
they can't figure out anything else to do. They just keep doubling down on the hidden potential system for the last 3 years. So I mean, why not just add it to leader skills at this point?
it's true. I don't think it's a bad idea by any means, but I think what they'll probably what we've seen already of them doing is adding stuff like that into the super attacks. So like we had that with the LR Goku, who gives a critical chance and everything to all allies for 1 turn. So I think they're going to go down the road of that more for right now. And I think Goresh mentioned this last week when we were talking about this last week, was where they're not really going to be upping the categories anymore in terms of the stat boost and everything, you know, to make them stronger. It's all within the passives now, right? They make them crazy, stupid, and powerful in the passive / super attacks. Whereas the leader skills are just simply saying, you know, we've been at 170 for how long now? Like, I don't
Been
think
3
we're going to be
years.
doing, I don't think we're going to be hitting 200% or anything like that. They know that. They found their happy medium when it comes to that type of thing.
I mean, yeah, upping the scale would mean that they would have to really dive in and fix all the other events, right? Because like, if the end game events can't keep up with the meta, the power creep, then that you're not doing a good job as a developer. So,
Well, it is Akatsuki, so.
I was gonna say we're kind of already at that point, aside from like the newest event that's come out on JP that we talked about at the start.
all right, moving on to the next question, brought to us by Nameless Hero. Nameless Hero asks, would you agree that AGL LR UI Goku is the most valuable unit at 55%? given his utility from his passive and super attack effects? If not, then who?
Difficult to answer, I would say, but like STR Goku and Vegeta have a great leader skill.
Yeah.
I think people should not forget about that unit.
Yeah, see, I only have the STR Vegito and the Boo Tanks both at 55%, and they're both still incredible with the amount of stuff that they can do.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
Blue Tanks might be my favorite unit in the game.
I think the thing that can hold the Goku back is his leader skill.
Yep.
For one. And then unfortunately Vegeta gets held back with being an int unit and having dodge only, unfortunately. He does have that medium chance, luckily enough, in his passive, just like Goku does. But yeah, I've seen this over the last week, and I get it. It's the honeymoon phase of, you know, the 6-year units and everything like that. But don't overlook STR Vegito and Physical Buuhan. Those guys are still easily worth their coins. They are still easily some of the top units in the entire game. Not to mention they're on like amazing categories. I mean, obviously Vegito has the whole Majin Buu saga category, and he's just stupidly good. And then Buuhan being on, you know, Majin Power and everything like that. Like Majin Power, I will fight you to the death. Well, maybe not to the death, but I will fight you by saying that that category is not one of the top categories in the game. Like with that link update and everything, those guys are amazing. So
Yeah, LRUI Goku is really valuable, but I mean, when I think of like best unit at 55%, that's not an LR. I just think of AGL Super Saiyan Gogeta, that goes blue, from 2 years ago at this point. So
Yeah.
you know, because he does everything. So like,
Yep.
I mean, UI Goku great, but like the chances of you actually pulling a UI Goku, you know, we've seen some people get shafted. so there is that to consider, right? So.
But yeah, there is actually another unit. If we're talking non-LRs, there's a unit that people overlook all the time. Funnily enough, I saw a tweet about it today, so I shared it, I think. But the Tech Vegeta that transforms into Majin Vegeta.
dude, yes,
I feel like people
card.
underrate him all the
gosh,
time,
yes.
right? But even at 55%, once he's transformed, as long as you pick up enough orbs, he guards and is super effective against all types, which
Yeah.
for a card with no dupes is pretty good.
I don't know
Dude,
if you...
Plus,
if you
great category. Great categories. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love him and his team, to be fair. He's one of the first units I got to level 10 links.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
He's fantastic.
None of them are more valuable than Tech Caulifla against Universe Survival Saga or Pure Saiyans.
I mean, that is true. In specific events, she is probably the most
she
useful
is.
55% unit in the game.
Yeah. I think that UI Goku is a really good unit, but I find it really difficult to say who's the best at 55%, you know. Maybe it's because there's like 500 units in the game, but because of the way the meta works for the game now, I would lean heavily towards Tech Gohan as one of the best units at 55%. Just because defense is so heavily weighted now.
Yep.
All right, let's
Yeah,
move
like
on
you can.
after that. Go ahead and again.
I was just gonna say, like, I've seen people do it from screenshots and stuff. Like, he came out not long after ESBR came out on global. People who couldn't beat the Super Tech stage were then able to beat it with him just by having him at 55% because he's that strong. So I would agree with that completely.
Yeah. I mean, I have him at 55% and nothing can touch him. You know, it's ridiculous. He is just a defensive monster. And he does decent damage if he gets hit first.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I think anything that has like a bunch of free hidden potential stuff is good. So like STR UI Goku, Int God Goku, like all of those units just get so much extra value without dupes because they can do all of that stuff for free. So.
All right, next question is brought to us by What's Poppin' Jimbo? What's Poppin' Jimbo asks, now that Vegeta isn't the new Pure Saiyan's lead, what and when do you expect a new Pure Saiyan's lead to come out? And what character do you think it would be?
Whatever the Sans Day card will be.
King Vegeta.
LR Dokkan Fest Yamoshi.
Did you just say Dokkan?
Dokkan.
Dokkan.
I
There it
probably
is.
did. I've been hanging out with Nas too much.
Dokkan. Yeah, King
I blame
Vegeta.
my coworkers.
Nah. King Vegeta is technically fitting in terms of the theme, but like no one cares about King Vegeta.
Hey!
His theme
No
would not be
one is
good.
coming for that.
Hey!
Yeah.
Tune doesn't matter. Moving
Nobody
on.
important.
Did you say
Okay, I
Toon
mean, I'm
doesn't
not
matter?
nobody, because somebody cares about every character, but the majority of people, I don't think that would be hype. If I had to guess, I do think it would probably be Saiyan Day. And then, like we mentioned earlier, either a new like Z Broly, or if they do him instead, or they do it as a dual Dokkan Fest, the Goku from the Z Broly movie. I feel like one of those two, because both of the Pure Saiyans lead so far have both been super types, and they've both been Vegeta. So it'd be kind of interesting if the new Pure Saiyans lead was an extreme and was Broly.
I like that idea, but what if they play a curveball on us and they give us like a new Kaba, and he's 166% Pure Saiyan lead?
That would trigger so many people.
I see what you did
It
there.
seriously would, but you know what?
On that just being
I
like,
would be
I would
down
hate
for
that.
Who cares
actually.
about Kava? Like,
Like, I mean, because they've already given all the shine that they can, to the
Yeah, it's
Universe
good
6
enough.
girls. I mean, Kaba at least has to have some sort of better. No, he's just a support unit. Never mind. I'll stop.
yeah, he's meant to make Kefla look good. That's his whole role.
I tried Kaba. I tried.
Yeah, the STR, that support one, is he Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2? I always forget.
Super Saiyan, I believe.
I think
Yeah,
he's
so
Super
they
Saiyan,
could-
yeah.
Yeah, they could make it the other one.
I gotta look real
Whichever
quick.
one he is, make the
Other
new
one?
the other
Wait,
one. Yeah.
Which one are you
The
talking about?
the tech one is Super Saiyan 2, I believe, and the strength
Yeah,
one
Tech
is
is Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
STR
And
1.
strength is just as Super Saiyan, yeah.
Yeah, it's
it's
from
just
tournament,
yeah.
Universe 6 tournament. Yeah.
Well, for Pure Saiyans, I mean, a dual Dokkan Fest of I'm gonna hammer this, the Saiyan Saga of Kaioken Goku and Vegeta, the Grade 8 Vegeta, like they could both be Pure Saiyans plus something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could run an extreme version of the Pure Saiyans lead and then a super version of the Pure Saiyans lead. That's like where I'm gonna put my flag and stake it there.
Yeah,
I
actually,
agree.
because we don't have a Dokkan Fest lead for that category, so Vegeta could be Pure Saiyans and Inhuman Deeds, and then I guess
Yep.
Goku would be either a new Z Fighter based one or just
Yeah,
another
and
one. I don't know if there is a mainly super one that doesn't have a Dokkan Fest lead. There probably is, but
Like, I would love a full power lead, a proper one.
yes, that would be a decent one.
Yeah.
Especially because he'd be like a Kaioken times
Mhm.
4.
Four?
Times 4, yeah.
Or 3 and then go active skill to 4,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah,
Blue
that'd be
Kai,
cool.
King Kai Fist times 1, times 2, times 5, times 10, times 20? All right, moving on to the next question, brought to us by FZ. I assume he means Frieza. Is the worst Dragon Ball character? Frieza is the worst
Good
Dragon
thing
Ball
Goresh isn't
character.
here this
Asks.
week.
Yeah. What's the better OST, Goku or Vegeta? I'm assuming he's referring to the new LRs. And in his opinion, Goku's is better.
Vegeta's better.
Thank you.
I haven't
Vegeta.
actually listened to
Thank
the
I think I like
Strange
Vegeta's better.
Vegeta. Yep.
Everything aesthetically about Vegeta is better than Goku. Goku is just mathematically better than Vegeta. That's the only
plays-
place where Goku wins.
Yeah. That's a good.
I
That's
knew,
a good
I knew there was a
assessment.
reason I liked it, Alec. There's a reason. There we go.
That's pretty much it. I mean, we don't really have much to say on
I
that
mean,
question, so let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, it's your favorite OST. It's
Let's
the better
move on.
OST. Yeah.
To the final question brought to us by Gig. Gig asks, do you think the next global chain battle, Shenron, will be a lot easier since JP didn't have the heroes units to use?
Yes.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah.
Screw chain battle.
Yeah.
I,
Well, that's
Yeah.
I was going to say, it doesn't matter if it's easier or not, it's still going to suck.
yeah.
That too. Yeah.
But yeah, there's with the category that you can have now, I got kind of lucky. I used a bunch of tech Gogetas as Kai's for the in one, but I did pull an extra one off of his banner, and I ended up pulling an extra full power Goku. So I was looking at my box actually the other day in preparation for it, and I can make a full set of 10, like for the supports, basically like a full Super Saiyan 4 support team. So anyone who's got me on their friends list, you're gonna have a good time on this next one.
Yeah, I was going to
See
say,
me
it
after the
doesn't
show.
matter if you summoned, it matters if your friend summoned, right?
Right,
So if
so
your
summoning
friends
and
did all the
seeing me after the
work,
show.
you will reap the benefit.
Thank you, Nolar.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So no, sorry, not thank you. You're welcome in advance because I have them all rainbowed except for the new Gogeta.
Toon, you also have to see me after the show.
Wait, so just to remind me, did the World Tournament one you guys recently had, did it have a bunch, like all the World Tournament cards on there?
Yeah.
Like the vast
Yeah, I
majority
think
of
so,
the
yeah.
reward cards, yeah.
Okay, because I was going to make the argument that, like, well, the Heroes banner was timed exclusive, right? So not everyone's going to have that, so maybe they won't put that on there. But at the same time, if they put all the World Tournament units there, then that invalidates that argument. So
Right.
Well, I think because it's the special category, part of it is the giant 8 power, isn't it? So it's just a case of all of this. I don't know if they're actually. That's a good point. We don't know because they weren't out on JP. They might not be the units that have like the red sparkly effect, but they are in the category.
Yeah,
Right.
I couldn't tell you. So
Provide very similar links, and most of them overlap in categories in other areas too. So it'll still be useful.
Yeah, even if they don't have the red thing, they're probably still the better ones to use because of how many links. And
you just might not want to
categories they share.
select them unless it's your fourth and fifth run, as you know what I mean. So chain battle. All
That's
right.
the fun of chain battle is we'll just have to wait and see once we've tried it 10 times and still don't quite understand what we're doing wrong. Hooray!
Yeah, that's been the way since Chain Battle came out. Nobody still, to this day still understands exactly how to get it, your top score and everything because it's all RNG based.
Yep.
Mhm. Fun times.
Yeah, the best game mode ever.
They should really just. I think if you were to make one change to Chain Battle to make it 1,000 times better, it's limit the number of supporters to 6, so you're always taking the same 6 characters from your friend.
Agreed.
Yeah, that would
Well-
definitely help it quite a bit.
Plus, the stupid thing about it is, even though RNG plays a huge role, like you basically have that one golden setup, and then if hopefully if you pick the right friends, you get a good score, and then regardless of whether you do or not, you've then got those 4 like essentially wasted attempts because you can't use your best units. I don't understand the logic behind that at all, because it's like, if you're somebody who does want to use stones to refresh and actually try multiple times to get a high score, you have your first attempt of the day, and then you just have to quickly sit and like waste through the next 4 so that you can then
10
spend
minutes
a
at
stone
least.
to refresh like your
Yeah.
friends list and stuff. It's so odd to me that it works like that.
I mean, the easiest way to do that would be you get to use your stone whenever you want. Like after the first run of the day,
yes.
then it's like, oh, I've got 4 other attempts. Let me reuse the best friend I could, use.
Yeah.
Let me use a stone right now to refresh that, and then use it for that. And afterwards, it's like, well, out of attempts for the day, I'm moving on to tomorrow. So instead of like, okay, well, my best attempt sucked. Let me spend the next 15 minutes just mindlessly picking things, and then wait till I could refresh it. It's stupid.
Yeah, I literally just go through and pick people from my friends list so that they'll get the extra couple of coins, and then I put my phone down. I don't even pick like the 3 things. I let it automatically do it for me when the timer gets to 0. So then I ended up getting a score of like 20 million or whatever it is. But I mean, I just don't care. I'm just trying to waste those 4 attempts so I can then actually refresh it.
To be fair though, because it's so goddamn RNG, even like my 3rd attempt with like, which I would call the non-optimal setup, it still does better than the optimal setup that I had on my 1st attempt.
Oh, I know
And
that
so-
one. Yep.
And you're just like, all right, I'm gonna get like 40 million out of this. 112. What the? That's happened so many times.
Yeah, the World Tournament one, the last one on Global, is a great example. I think I even shared a screenshot in the Dokkan chat. Nice.
Dope.
Okay.
So
Yeah, blame Nas. Blame Nas.
I hang out with Nas a lot, so it's all Nas.
Well, that's a problem.
Hey, it's your fault. It's how the
That's
schedule
true.
works.
That's true. It's very true.
But yeah, like my team, like there were not like that many links or categories or anything, but I still ended up at over 100 million, and I'd never once for the rest of the time, even though I had gotten it once and I even took screenshots of figuring out how I got there, could never even come close to 100 million again. So I don't get it. I don't understand Chain Battle, and that's part of the reason it ticks me off. And then the other thing is that it's a competitive mode where your units don't matter. It doesn't make sense to me. Why make it a competitive mode with rankings and a ladder when it's literally your friends list decides how high you place?
Yep.
Pretty much.
would not be a Dokkan Battle podcast episode without the occasional bashing of the chain battle. Seems like we've done this like for the past like 12 episodes.
So I'm gonna
Yeah,
miss
it'll
it.
continue,
My arch
don't worry.
nemesis. I
If
must.
chain battle would stop sucking, we would stop bashing it.
Exactly.
Right.
I never thought a mode could make me miss the world tournament, but there you go.
Oh no. I mean, I would rather play chain battle than
No, world tournament over chain battle.
No, see, my philosophy there is time sink investment, because chain battle is 7 minutes tops out of like 5 days or 6 days. World tournament, if you want actually decent rewards, it's 36 to 72 hours.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah,
but at least,
there-
at least you know what you're doing.
There's definitely a plus to that. For game battle.
I mean, the world tournament rewards are great and everything, but just because of time sunk fallacy, I think that
I
chain
think
battle is the superior mode.
I mean, can we just all agree that they're not exactly great game modes?
no,
They
they're
both
both,
suck.
they're both bad.
Should just be
But
ejected. And
I
all
think
of-
after they updated it a few tournaments ago, it was quite a while ago now. I think I can't remember how many it was, but once they updated it so that as long as you get to 30, well, I think is it the 23 million mission? But
20
as long
million,
as
you get the card.
yeah,
Yep.
you get the card. So if we compare it in terms of just completing the missions, i.e., getting the 30 million points, which only takes a few hours, which you could spread across the whole weekend, because you still get okay rewards from just doing the missions. If we look at it as just that template, then I would absolutely say World Tournament's better than Chain Battle.
For that, I
Yep.
would. For that, I would. But if I would say if you're trying to go for like top 1% or really try to get those really good World Tournament awards, probably Chain Battle, because again, it's a lot faster and you're not losing sleep over it. So
Right. the amount of effort to become top ranking for chain battle is significantly less than it is for world tournament. Either way, I mean,
yeah.
Well,
pretty
that's the
much.
problem, though,
I
is
see
it's
what your
the...
point is about just hitting 30 million points, though.
Yeah,
That's
no.
not terrible.
I agree that the time that you have to put in, if you want to get a top score, then obviously the time you have to put in is bad. But like the way I look at it is more the sense of, if I have the time and I want to put it in and I want to have that dedication, I can score high. Whereas in Chain Battle, I can put in the dedication and try as many times as I want, and sometimes I get a lower score with a technically better team. So it's that uncertainty factor that makes me hate it so much.
I'm
Agreed.
sorry. All I can
With
think of
that,
is- oh, go ahead.
no. This is it. Last thought.
Let's say all I could think of is just taking the clip of you saying, "If I have time and I want to stick it in, I'm going to use that somewhere." I swear to
Yikes.
Did I say that?
Blackmail.
Oh. Wouldn't be a 5-9 stream without some blackmail in it, right?
And with that, we are going to wrap up this week's show. Thank you so much for what did he say? Sticking your time in. Sticking.
If I have the time and I want
Thank
to-
you for being here. Huge thank you to Hydros. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much to Hydros for manning the boards, keeping the stream afloat, and also spamming my box with a billion truths. Good God. How did you slowly add like one by one into the? Oh my God. All right. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch, Twitter, join the Discord, check out the Facebook fan page, the subreddit, the website, everything. All the links are everywhere. Make sure you guys are fully locked in. If you missed any part of the show, fear not. All of your favorite podcasting platforms have you covered. Google, Apple, Spotify, many more. Subscribe and don't skip a beat. Join us right here tomorrow for our next episode of the Dragon Ball Legends podcast. For the Masked Ningen, Talon, Nolar, Alec, and Sunblade, I am Toon Rami. Thank you once again for watching. Stay tuned and always remember to monkey responsibly.
Johnny.
Job.